After watching the classic movie Full Metal Jacket, a memorable line in the movie is when Sergeant Hartman says, "Bullshit, I bet you could suck a golf ball through a garden hose." It got me wondering about the actual physics behind the ability to actually suck a golf ball through a literal garden hose. The result would be interesting to say the least. Let's say you have a standard garden hose that you would use to water plants in your outdoor garden, wash cars, etc. The width of the standard garden hose is typically in the range between half an inch to 3/4 of an inch in diameter. On the other hand, the diameter of the golf ball is 1.7 inches, which is much larger than the inner diameter of a garden hose. The width of the hose is just too small to get it inside. That's what she said. But however, let's just say you somehow managed to shove it inside the hose. Doing the calculations of the ball versus the hard rubber, this would result with a force of approximately 2,780,000 newtons of force. If we ignore that both the material of the golf ball and the material of the hose, it would be an extremely high range of Newtonian force, which for the sake of our experiment is absurdly large and is well beyond the structural and flexible capability of both the golf ball and the garden hose. This would result in shattering of the golf ball and ripping and crushing of both their materials. But for the sake of our experiment, let's just say that the golf ball is already inside of the hose. As we've stated previously, the ball's diameter is 1.7 inches and the garden hose is 3/4 of an inch. The contact area of the inner surface of the hose through its entrance creates an airtight seal, assuming the friction coefficient between the rubber hose and a golf ball is around 0.5 pascals. The force needed to overcome this friction would need to be large pressure difference between the two. By using more calculations of classical physics, the pressure difference would be approximately 51,000 pascals, which is roughly 0.5 atmospheric pressure, in which what you would need to theoretically pass the golf ball through the garden hose completely. Essentially, too, you could translate the pascals and you would end up having 7.4 pounds per square inch. That might not seem like a high pressure. However, it's important to note that achieving this level of suction pressure across the surface of the golf ball would require colossal friction resistance. There would be a guarantee of deformation of the structure. I hope that video was helpful to you about this question you never asked, and I make other stuff, so go check it out. Now go suck a